What would you do if you realized your child was not born their true gender identity? How would you handle it? Your child being a transgender person. Would you accept your child or would you disown them? Parenting a transgender child may not be the easiest, but think about how the child feels. Transgender youth are children and adolescents who are transgender and or transsexual. Parenting transgender youth is not only difficult and confusing for the child, but for the parents as well. Parents do not know how to deal with this when it is first brought to their attention, and they need help from others to learn the best ways to accommodate and support their children. Did you know that transgender teenagers account for 0.7% of the population ages 13 to 17? Not only is this the age where teenagers are learning more about themselves and who they are in general, to realize you're LGBTQ as well is more than one can handle. Parents may feel like their lives are falling apart and don't know how to handle the situation, but they have to consider their child's feelings as well. The transgender community is not going away, nor is it getting smaller. So parents need to be prepared and to keep educating themselves so their child does not feel like they are not accepted or loved. When LGBTQ feels neglected, not accepted, or not loved, majority attempt suicide. A quote by Staff Report states almost 65% of transgender youth in Alberta between the ages of 19 to 25 have considered suicide at some point in their lives. This is a result of transgender between the ages of 14 to 18 that do not look for mental help because they are scared their parents will find out. This graph here shows reasons why the LGBTQ youth are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. The highest percentage on this chart is because the youth run away from home because their families rejected them after finding out their sexual orientation or gender identity. Parents need to learn how to cope better with their children so their children are safe and brought up in an accepting environment. Parenting transgender youth has only hit the spotlight within the past several years. This topic has gone from less controversial to more widely accepted. Being that the transgender is becoming more acknowledged in today's day and age, more and more people are educating themselves. For parents of transgender youth, it is important, according to this article I found by Rebecca Ruiz, to let them teach you. In this article from 2015, Rebecca Ruiz mentions how figures like Caitlyn Jenner and Jazz Jennings lets the media and public into their lives, and this forces parents to contemplate their children's futures. Being that big figures like these women are being brave, it allows children all over the world to understand their sexual orientation and gender identity better. A quote by Ruiz states, "Overwhelmed by panic and fear, some transgender children, as many as 405 of the nation's 1.6 million homeless youth, identify as LGBT. More and more parents today are becoming more accepting to their children and will hopefully lower the homeless rates of these transgender children." In our text, Finding Out, Chapter 2 speaks about sexology. I found this to be an important aspect to my topic because this chapter educates people about the theories and the facts behind LGBTQ. Finding Out states, while Freud was not a sexologist per se, his theories of sexuality became guiding principles for many 20th century approaches to the study of sex, sexuality, identity, and personality. As I mentioned before, education is important for parents of transgender youth because having these studies helps them to understand the different feelings and emotions that their children are dealing with as they grow up. Raising My Rainbow is a novel by Lori Duran who tells the story of her non-conforming son. CJ is not a boy who likes all blue or boy things, and he's not a boy who likes all pink or all girl things either. Lori refers to him as her rainbow. He is all over the spectrum of all the types of things he likes. As the website states, Raising My Rainbow is a story by Lori Duran about her son and family navigating through the challenging but never dull moments of raising a slightly effeminate, possibly gay, totally fabulous son. Organizations such as Trans Youth Family Allies and Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays are both great ways to take action in supporting the transgender youth. TYFA is a supportive organization to children and families. They partner with resources such as educators and service providers to develop supportive environments in which gender may be expressed and respected. PFLAG is an organization that brings together the LGBTQ community along with their families and friends to help advance the equality through support, education, and advocacy.